we really clear the decks very cleanly. We have no residual exposure to any of this. The business moves on to people who have a slightly different focus to us, and we can really focus on what we're doing, which is big ticket, high impact offshore exploration in Uruguay, where we've got great assets and a full program of work that will keep us more than occupied for the next 18 months.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. Joining me today, Challenger Energy CEO Eitan Uliel. Eitan, very good to speak with you. You've announced the sale of your remaining operations in Trinidad and Tobago, so really a big focus on your Uruguay operations going forward.
Yes, exactly. I mean, that was the news yesterday. We've been talking about it for quite some time. We really needed to figure out the right way forward for our operations in Trinidad and Tobago. Ultimately, we came to the conclusion, look, we got the business into a place where it was managing just fine month to month, not costing us anything, but not generating anything. And we really were unable to define a way forward for that to scale and profitability without having to spend a lot more time and a lot of capital in doing work. And we can do better with that capital in Uruguay, where we're having great success. So we came to the decision that the right thing to do was to exit from Trinidad and Tobago. We announced that transaction yesterday.
And it looks like a pretty good deal. So you've got an upfront payment, $6 million, but there's also deferred consideration, I suppose, depending on the production that comes out of that area.
Yes, I mean, just to be completely correct, the consideration we will receive in sort of cash terms for the company will aggregate to $1.75 million. We get some today, we get some when the deal completes, and we get some in deferred installments. And it's a mixture of cash and Predator shares, which we can hold. Hopefully, Predator do well, or we can sell them. The balance is actually they are taking on the business as is, with all the exposures, work program commitments, liabilities, etc. And for the purposes of the agreement, that was valued at $4.25 million. And then, as you point out, we really do hope that Predator and West Indian Energy, the two new owners, do really well, because we get an upside performance payment. If they are successful in being able to improve the production, as they feel they will be, then once it reaches a certain threshold and they've recovered some of their costs, we get a bonus payment that could be another $2 million in a few years' time. So a good deal for us. I mean, these are not zero-sum games. I think it's a good deal for the Predator and West Indian Energy people, but a very good deal for us in that we really clear the decks very cleanly. We have no residual exposure to any of this. The business moves on to people who have a slightly different focus to us, and we can really focus on what we're doing, which is big ticket, high impact offshore exploration in Uruguay, where we've got great assets and a full program of work that will keep us more than occupied for the next 18 months.
So, Eitan, as you mentioned, the full program of work in Uruguay, following the success with the farm out to Chevron of Area of 1, you're now preparing Area of 3 for the farm out process. Where are you with that?
Work continues every day. So there's multiple parallel work streams. We've licensed historic 3D seismic data. That's in the middle of being reprocessed. The data needs to be reconditioned. Then there's AVO analysis. We're having a satellite seep study done. We're having a seabed box coring study done. So and then reinterpretation and remapping, and all of these work streams are ongoing. It's a daily thing that we're managing, and nothing has changed. We are working towards all of that coming together in July, which will enable us to populate a data room and commence a farm out process. And the objective has not changed. We'd like to see that process run through the rest of the year, and a farm out partner on board by end of the year is the objective.
And it looks like investors are supportive of the measures you're taking, Eitan. Morgan Stanley's increased its stake. That news came out today.
Yes, after the deal with Chevron closed, we have seen considerable interest in the company from people who've never been interested before. We have a marquee partner, we have good assets in a postcode that's attracting a lot of attention. And very pleasingly, we're seeing a lot of interest in North America. It's entirely logical. There's a whole market for these things in North America. We are operating in the Americas, as it were, but we've never gained any traction with North American investors. And what we've seen for the first time is that there's been a bit of interest in our story. I'm getting calls, I'm being invited to go and do roadshows, and now we're seeing North American buyers of our stock. So this is all really good. It's very pleasing to me, I guess, but very validating to us as a company because we have spent 4 years now grinding it out in terms of trying to do what we say we're going to do, and I try very hard not to over promise. We like to set clear milestones, clear timelines that are realistic, that reflect the industry we operate in. But I think over the last few years, one by one, we said we would do good quality work on Off1. We did it. We said we'd get a farm out partner of global, cachet. We did it. We said we're doing work on Off3. We're doing it. We're going to farm out Off3. I said we were going to deal with Trinidad. Well, we've done that. And as we tick more and more of these boxes, and I guess deliver on what we say, build credibility, we're seeing greater interest from shareholders who really understand what we're trying to do, who are patient, who understand that the industries can sometimes be measured in years, not months or days, but they also understand the risk reward here. We're in the oil exploration game. If we ultimately, on any one of our projects, see wells get drilled that result in discoveries, we are a company that's worth 10 to 15 times what we are today, and people get that. It takes time, it takes years, but they get that. So I'm very happy to see our shareholder register sort of turning over, North American buyers, etc. It's great. It's great news for us.
Well, Eitan, I hope you'll keep us updated on any additional progress. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Wonderful. Thanks as always. Bye.
Eitan Uliel, CEO of Challenger Energy Group.